Welcome to the Hearthgamist, everything Hearthstone and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been a while since my last video. Been a bit busy with life, unfortunately. But now that I have a bit time, I'm making a video. I've been also collecting a few cards, getting some structure decks, so hopefully you'll see more deck profiles again. I make more of casual deck profiles. I don't really have that much time to play competitively. I do play on Edo Pro and try a few games, and I do win every now and then. But still, it's not the same thing. Anywho, without further ado, I bring one of my favorite decks next to Synchros, which is Lightworn. This is a Chaosworn version. I tried it at 40, but unfortunately 40 doesn't work all too well. Because again, the purpose of Lightsworn is sending cards from your deck to the graveyard. 40 just diminishes way too fast. And yeah, I might be able to pull some insane boards, but you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays, maybe a couple of cards and they can break your board, then you only have a couple of cards left to play, and there's really no coming back from that. This version isn't as consistent, but it's still, I think it's decent enough. So, without further ado, let's start. So, triple Judgment Dragon. I think Judgment Dragon is a great card, to be honest. Not as broken as before. Paying 1,000 life points to clear the board is still useful. But, yeah, there's just cards nowadays that are not either unaffected or cannot be destroyed. But again, you can catch people off guard. I might just replace one Judgment Dragon for a Punishment Dragon, just since it's a Chaos version, bringing cards back from the banish zone to your deck and kind of shuffling with the graveyard. I think that could be useful. So I never thought I would use a Punishment Dragon, but I might as well consider it. So let me know your thoughts on that. So next would be triple the Chaos Creator. Pretty cool card. It's a nice extender. Banishes two, a light and a dark. And if you have three monsters in your banish zone, you can return one to your hand and the rest to the bottom of... actually, you special summon one of those and then you return the others to the bottom of the deck. So I think that's pretty useful. So essentially, what you spend on summoning this card, you recover, more or less. And you get that, again, extended for a free special summon. So I think it's a pretty cool card. For now, this is more of a placeholder, but I'm expecting some cards in the mail, which should be coming next week. And when I do get it, I'll do another deck profile. But it's triple Black Luster Soldier. So I've been using Black Luster. It's not as great as it used to. I mean, banishing is great, targeting not so much. At 3,000 attack is decent. Attacking twice in a row is decent, but it doesn't seem to do enough. But again, it's a placeholder for now. But it's, yeah, kind of an okay card. Next, Triple Wolf. It's a must in Lightsworn decks. It's, again, your combo starter. You never want to see this card in your hand. Although with the Chaos version, you'll see I have a Plague Spreader Zombie, which essentially you can put on the top of your deck and you can get it more or less a free special summon. But still, it's not great when you get it in your hand. Triple Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn. Again, Lightsworn's Raiden is basically one of the best cards. If you don't draw well, it depends on luck, because you have to send cards, two cards from your deck to your graveyard. But it's unfortunately, the only Lightsworn that is able to send cards other than in the end phase. So I think that that's pretty useful. And yeah, I mean, it's a decent card. Then triple Lumina. Free special summon. You discard. Again, maybe you have a dead wolf in your hand or a Felice. You get this. I think you're pretty happy on using this card. And it's a once per turn per card, not per name, which is a very important difference. So I think that, yeah, it's definitely an essential card in the Lightsworn deck. Moving to triple, what I mentioned, triple Plague Spreader Zombie. This card is just fantastic for the most part. Again, it's a free special summon. There's the synchro part might come to play every now and then, not too much to be honest, but again, you can link summon, and yeah, I think that it's a great card. Triple Chaos Valkyria. I think this is an okay card. I essentially use it just for special summons, because sending the card to the graveyard, if you activate the second effect, which is sending the card to the graveyard, you can't activate the effect that turn, so that's pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, you can't send Wolf, you can't send Felice, because they're not going to activate their effect, so I mean, you can send maybe a Plague Spreader Zombie and think about the future if you're not able to end it, or in the second turn, or yeah, basically kind of thinking about the future, which for the most part, you really don't want to do that frequently. You want an immediate payment, that the card pays for itself immediately. But the special summon itself, and it being a level 4, and also being a fairy, which I am looking to get an Arc Lord Christia, because again, it seems pretty useful to get a free special summon that also impedes both to special summon. I think that that's a very important card, which again, I should be getting soon, so I might bump it up to having, instead of 57 cards, 60, or I might just move it to 58 and just remove 2 other cards. I don't know yet. I might just add 1 copy and leave it at that. Anywho, moving to the next card, 3 Goblinberg. Very important card. If you brick and you have this card and you have a monster, another monster level 4 or lower on your hand, it can be a combo starter. So even though it's not light or dark, it's kind of a needed thing sometimes. Moving to the doubles, which is double Minerva. Yeah, Minerva is definitely a useful card. It depends a little bit on luck to trigger its extra milling effect. And also, if you normal summon it, you can get a Judgment Dragon, which again isn't as powerful as before, but it's still useful. Double Felice. Not as good as Wolf. It only triggers with an effect monster, and yeah, if you send it by a spell, it's not going to work. So I think 2 is a healthy number. So moving to, again, for Shire Lightsworn Spirit, honestly, I think I'm just going to put this at 1 and replace it with, is it Gargosh, the 1850 warrior? Again, I basically have this here now just because I want to have, I think you need to have 3 fairies in the graveyard to special summon Arc Lord Christia, which again, I still don't have yet, but I did order 3 and in the mail, and I'll see how many I'll use at the end. But yeah, I'm going to try it with Christia, and if it works, then great. If not, I'm just going to replace it with a different name for Lightsworn. The more names you have, the better, to be honest. 2 Malicious, free special summon. It benefits from your mills. Yeah, not much else to say, to be honest. Moving to 1-ofs, Blackwing Sephiroth. Special summon, which is not free. You have to return a card, which, I mean, it has to be a face-up card, so it's likely going to be a monster. So it's not really a free per se, but hey, if you have a level 3 and maybe a level 4 in the field, and you need 2 level 4s instead of 1 level 4 and 1 level 3, this might as well be your out. So yeah, having it at 1 is fine. Then Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. very important card, very cool special summon, and it can search White Dragon Wyvern Buster and vice versa. So yeah, having these baby dragon, chaos dragons is quite useful. One Juragito. Sometimes again, you're able to get this special summon in the battle step, which you don't need to attack from my understanding. So you can maybe, if you need that, don't have monsters, but you want to special summon this and then go to main phase 2. So you can go ahead and start making your plays in main phase 2. Maybe get a link that negates, which I also ordered the Bow of the Goddess. So I should be, getting that soon. One Aaron Lightworn Monk, I might replace this for Celestia instead. I have this because it's a level 4, but Celestia, again, pops, which, again, targets, but might be more useful than Aaron. Although Aaron's effect really, I mean, I don't think it comes into play that often anymore, because who really sets monsters anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh! It just doesn't seem to happen as often. One Lila, a Lightsworn, popping a spell or trap cards, definitely important. One Armageddonite, sending a Play Expert or Zombie if you have a wolf in your hand, might be useful. Performage Damage Juggler, sending it to the graveyard. Again, you can go ahead and get find a Trick Clown. And that would be it for the monsters. So a whole bunch of monsters. Again, I'm getting Chaos Levianeer in the mail. I'm also getting Chaos Ruler, which is the Synchro into the newish Synchro. And I think that's it. I might be getting maybe one more card other than that. Anywho, going to the spells, triple Charge of the Light Brigade, definitely an important card. Sends cards to the graveyard, which is definitely what you want to do, and also finds the Lightsworn, so yeah, definitely a 3 of. Triple Solar Recharge. I think, again, Lightsworns, draw cards, sends cards to the graveyard, so not much to complain. Triple Chaos Space. You're able, again, to find your Chaos monsters, and also, if you, for those fringe plays, if you have, like, a Play Expert or Zombie in the graveyard, and you might want to, you're out of other Chaos monsters for whatever reason, or you're starting play, and you need to get that, you can get a wolf, and again, place it with Plague Sprader, and then if you can exceed, or if you can link for Curious, that's definitely going to be a free special summon. So yeah, Chaos Space I think is quite useful in this type of deck. A lot of monsters that can't be normal summoner set that you can find. Then one Reinforcement of the Army. We have quite a few warriors, so yeah, that's useful. One Foolish Burial. A lot of effects that want to trigger in the graveyard. One Pot of Avarice. Again, you send a lot of monsters to the graveyard, or a lot of cards to the graveyard, so you can recover your resources and draw 2 cards. That's always useful. And one Reasoning. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they're going to guess level 4, but you're sending a few monsters in the process to the graveyard, so that might be useful. So that's it for the deck itself. Now for the extra deck. And again, I'm still waiting on the other cards, but for now, one Celine. Again, special. You send a bunch of cards to the graveyard. A lot of those are going to be spell cards. So getting that extra free special summon is going to matter. One Black Rose Dragon. Yeah, I mean, not as useful as before. Again, talking about popping the field, but hey, might matter every now and then. Again, I'm going to replace it in the future. One Michael the Arc Lightsworn, which yeah, I mean, doesn't come too much into play. Banishing is good, but targeting not so much. One Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't negate the effect, but it does banish the card, which a lot of the times the opponent's card effects might rely on them having another card on the field. So, I mean, it's not the best, not the worst. So that's it for the synchros. For exceeds one Levier the Sea Dragon. Fringe plays, but you might return. You're banishing a lot, so you're likely going to be able to special summon banish level 4 or lower monster. One Tornado Dragon, you have a bunch of level 4s, so making this rank 4 is quite easy, and if you want to pop something, there you go. One Abyss Dweller, a lot of the decks rely on activating effects from the graveyard. So yeah, I mean, I think this pretty much stops them cold a lot of the time. And one Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn, sending cards to the graveyard, drawing cards for every Lightsworn. I think that's very important. But honestly, it hasn't performed as well as, for example, Curious. Curious, you can send a Felice, activate its effect, and then send 3 cards. So you're special summoning monsters for sure, or you have at least a special summon guaranteed, which you don't have with Minerva. Minerva, you're just kind of gambling to see if you're able to get it, and if you do, great, and especially if you get a lot of Lightsworns, then you get extra draw, but it's again kind of a risk reward, as opposed to Curious, where it's that guarantee that for sure you're going to get a special summon at the very least. And you might get lucky on those extra 3 cards that you send and get maybe 2 or 3, but at the very least you're getting 1 for sure, which is very important in these type of decks. You want to extend, you want to create big boards. So when Isolde don't have equip cards, but I mean, yeah, Isolde is okay. At least you can search for a warrior. One Borreload dragon. I mean, it's an okay card. Used to be one of the best cards. Now it's like whatever. It's not a Borreload Savage, for example, which is Nominee Negate. So, I mean, yeah, taking your monster is good, but not as good as before, it seems. Two Saryuja Skull Dreads. You can very easily, or well, not too easily, but easily enough if you get lucky to summon 2 of these. So drawing 4 cards and then returning 3, kind of fixing your hand is important. Also, you get that extra special summon. Also, you get that boost in attack. So it does a lot of things. So 2 is great. One Nightmare Griffin, which getting an extra card sometimes is very important. And a 1 5-headed dragon, which you have a lot of cards in your graveyard, so having a 5,000 beat stick that is unaffected by effects, and it is taking banishing 5 cards at a time face down, might not be too much of an issue, to be honest. You're going to survive for a bit, and you might make it count. So, that is the deck profile. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up, comment. If you didn't, you can leave a dislike, that's okay too. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.